A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant diplomatic incident, a Canadian delegation comprising 6 members of parliament, MPs, was denied entry to the occupied West Bank by Israeli authorities earlier today. This delegation, organized by the Canadian Muslim Vote, aimed to engage with Palestinian officials and human rights advocates amidst escalating tensions and violence in the region. The MPs were reportedly turned back at the border due to being labeled as public safety threats by Israeli officials. The refusal to allow Canadian lawmakers into the West Bank raises serious questions about transparency and accountability in the region, according to the National Council of Canadian Muslims, NCCM. The delegation included 5 members from the governing Liberal Party and 1 from the New Democratic Party, NDP. Following the denial of entry, the delegation returned to Jordan, expressing disappointment and concern over the Israeli government's actions. Stephen Brown, the CEO of NCCM, described the incident as an outrage, emphasizing that it aligns with a broader pattern of restricting access to individuals seeking to observe the realities in the occupied territories. This incident comes in the wake of increased violence in the West Bank, where a Canadian woman recently reported being attacked by Israeli settlers. The woman, who has chosen to remain anonymous due to safety concerns, described an alarming incident where masked settlers assaulted her and fellow activists. As tensions continue to rise, advocacy groups in Canada are urging the government to reconsider its diplomatic stance towards Israel. Calls for sanctions against Israel have intensified, particularly following the ongoing violence in Gaza and the West Bank. The Canadian government recognized Palestinian statehood in September, but stipulated that certain conditions must be met, including the holding of elections that Hamas cannot contest. This complex political landscape has left many Canadians questioning the government's approach to Israel and Palestine. The NCCM statement emphasized the importance of allowing elected officials to witness the situation firsthand, highlighting the need for accountability regarding Israel's policies in the occupied territories. The Israeli government, however, has consistently maintained strict control over access to the West Bank, particularly for individuals perceived as critical of its policies. Advocacy groups like Canadians for Justice and Peace in the Middle East, CJPME, have condemned Israel's decision to bar the Canadian delegation, calling for diplomatic sanctions and a re-evaluation of Canada's support for Israel. The ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza, which has seen a staggering death toll since the onset of conflict, further complicates the situation. As calls for justice and peace grow louder, the international community watches closely, awaiting Canada's next steps in addressing the challenges posed by Israeli policies in the region. The refusal of entry for the Canadian delegation underscores the complex dynamics at play and the urgent need for dialogue and accountability in the pursuit of peace in the Middle East. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.